Just watching, we back in limbo, and we gonna be talking about your personal goal, waiting your turn, and also playing your role, getting to the place where you want to be. Something you can easily relate to this thing is about like something like a video game, right? And to make things more simpler, you have tasks and assignments and milestones that you have in a video game. Just in real life, it is exactly the same. So there are different milestones you can achieve, and they all are based on the archetype that fits you best to get to the place that you could get to easily, and being aligned with your actual goals in life that could easily be relatable to what you are interested in. So, like I mentioned in other videos, you want to minimize your effort when it comes to manifestations. So it's not all about effort, and you understand that now. What I'm going to be referring to is about alignment, getting different milestones that you hit and aligning those with other milestones that you hit. We can refer to these two as energy and emotions stored up in ways you move, aligning with other ways you move to get to the success that you want to achieve, right? Your alignments and everything are based off Hermetic principles. You can easily understand the Hermetic principles, pretty basic, and you can understand the hierarchy of those through a book called, what's it called? The Kabbalion is a good one, and it's pretty basic. If you don't know those basics, it would help you understand where I'm coming from. So, segueing from the fact that we all have different archetypes of things and attributes that build us for what is easier for us to attain, which could be called our God-given gifts that not everyone gets to understand or achieve in a lifetime, but could be adopted off of what they already are good at, but don't really recognize it until they're probably too old to say they can achieve anything, or maybe not even at all throughout their whole lifetime. Practical approach to this, knowing who you are, what aligns with you better, is through patterns. Some may say things like strengths that you have, or your inner calling that you truly have aligned with things that come easy to you. And something I'm going to refer to is something that you cling on to easily and doesn't really. It's an automatic foundation. It's a default foundation based off what character you have and what it's already good at before building on top of it. It's like knowing the foundation that you're setting it upon. It's like one tower, and that tower is just building your mental fortitude and temple, and the one tower has a foundation that's different than the other tower, so you'd have to build two different towers for two different characters, two different people. You can implement methods to find these things through understanding patterns of the universe and how we correlate with these patterns of the universe within the place we live, which is Earth, and using our body and our emotions that flow through us within the waters of our body to understand things like Saturnian wisdom. And things like Saturnian wisdom are like cycles of the month, moon cycles, and other things like 7-year cycles, other cycles based off the lunar calendar. Let me see, Chinese calendar, the Eastern calendar, which is Chinese calendar, right? And other types of methods of tracing patterns, right? You don't have to follow through with these things, but these are examples of different ways of loops occurring and understanding where you feel like a pattern hits. Like, for example, every new moon, you feel like you can do everything in a consistent pattern. You feel like you've accomplished many things. You feel like you've done a lot of things within that day, or within that span of 2 to 3 days, you've accomplished a lot of things. You can understand these opportunities, or if you understand astrology, you could say something like sextiles and trines, of understanding how things angle up and how things come together based off different alignments of consequences, environment, patterns that you're already engaged in, thought patterns that end up following through with your decision making, of how you follow through with your rituals and daily activities throughout your day. All of this might seem a little bit random, and it might be just luck when it comes to achieving success within things, and it could be called luck, but something that some people might not understand is pretty much undiscovered science that can't be backed up by, I guess, practical things. But a practical angle in this situation would be, for instance, your your window of opportunity could be when it's in your 40s, but that not have been the only opportunity. It's just that it was more adapted and you would have been more aligned within that time frame. There are multiple gates, stargates. So to sum that part up of me trying to explain it to you, I will say this: being aware of things that turn you in a specific way and kind of fold you and have you develop the ego of who you are. And once those things align, and as your emotions are being dictated and swimming differently in a different way, and you have all your, like, you're not the same person when you're 16 years old versus the person that you are when you're like 28 years old, right? And the opportunity might have been there when you were 16, but you weren't aligned for that opportunity to become more present to you. So once you become more aware of those things throughout time and experience, and through reflection consciously of understanding who you are, and maybe taking that time out of your day throughout your life momentarily throughout bigger moments that shift who you are and what you're going to do with the rest of your life, are critical for you to understand when your opportunity opens and understanding yourself at a higher level. So I don't recommend it to be forced upon when I talk about reflecting and being more aware of things in your own state of consciousness. It's all about adapting and evolving at the right time. So one thing I could recommend is letting yourself co-create with the feminine energy of the universe, and understanding that things always expand and contract, and these opportunities will always be present in the future. Like, for instance, I was a person that blew a lot of money when I was younger on let me see, for instance, one person might have had a shit ton of crypto, but they didn't know what to do with the crypto, and they just used it as a transaction base instead of using it for a different reason. But the opportunity was presented to them when they're at a immature state, and they could have been an early investor before it became all hyped up to the point where it's almost hitting 100,000, and one was knew its potential at 5,000 but was using it for different malicious purposes, if you get what I'm saying, right? The opportunity was there when you're younger, when you're using it for different reasons, but when you understood that pattern was there, when you uncover a lot of these new things that come out in society, and then you realize that you missed out. It's not that you're missing out. You can find these things again. It's the fact that you were already aligned with these things ahead of time, and it's just different opportunities you're going to present yourself. So it's nothing to be mad about, but that's just a little example that I have. Every time you take a step towards aligning yourself and getting to that point of success, it takes risk, trust, and luck. You see, when I just mentioned all these three things, they're totally aligned with everything I've been mentioning, not forcing yourself and etc., especially what I've mentioned in the past part of this video. Let me correct myself, not past, but earlier part of this video. It is also key to understand where you're coming from when you end up taking the action that is required to put yourself into those steps of success. You want to remember that you don't want to act out of desperation. You want to act out of inspiration, and you want to end up having a magnetic pull to the things that are easily, closely related to you within this physical existence that we're in. Once you move in an aligned manner, then it's going to be easier for you to create magnetic momentum. So you have a swing of things once you get to a place that you already understand and already know how to move in this specific sphere of things. For example, it could be like trading the stock market or whatever. You could understand that sphere of the world that you're in within the stock market, and once you have a aligned movement, and movements where all your energies in your body, all the energies that move within your body, understand that you won't be in a high stakes moment when you're making a calculated risks, for instance, and that's how your body's aligned to follow through with actions that are going to be that are going to earn you figures, and are magnetically have a lot of magnetism through it. This is what we can call for the fact that aligned movement and aligned motion and aligned emotion can take you to a place where you have magnetic momentum in your life. This is more of a summary of a video that I like to end my video on before I give you that righteous watcher, we out of limbo. But one thing I want to mention is for the fact that I am not diving into reincarnation, role purpose, all that stuff. This is just a simplified, juiced down, concentrated, simple version to the point where a lot of people can understand this type of stuff, minus some of the terms that are a little bit more complex in the terms of understanding of English. But I'm assuming I have an English speaking audience that gets a little bit more of the words that I'm trying to explain. Well, now it's the time. It's Righteous watching. We out of limbo. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Show some love.